Hey, everybody, welcome back to Behind the Space Bar. This is a podcast where we help you become a world class playback engineer. I'm your host, Reese, and I'm here as always with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Will Doggett,
What's
here to
happening,
dispense
Reese?
all the wisdom. Yes, I'm doing good, man. I hope you're ready to roll because I got some questions. I think it's going to be good, but
Well,
yeah,
actually, I would love to. I'm going to put you on the spot.
okay.
If you're new to the show, the way this kind of works is you submit questions, Reese answers, ask them of me in the moment. And so Reese, I'm sure you got some great questions lined up. But before we do this, let everybody know where they can go to get their questions answered. Let's do that first, and then I want to interrupt you with something.
Okay, yeah, man. Uh, Find us on Instagram from Studio to Stage IG. You can follow us there, get some really good content, and also just send us a DM if you got a burning question that just can't wait and you got to ask it. We'll submit it there, and we'll try to answer it on the podcast as soon as we can.
Yeah, that'd be great. I've seen a couple pop in this week, which is maybe cheating that I can kind of sometimes see those pre-submitted, but I don't know which ones are going to throw at me in the moment. But Reese, I want to throw something at you in the moment, if
Okay,
that's okay.
sure.
I don't know if it's just I woke up on the right side of the bed, or maybe it's the Lime Spindrift. Not an ad, but Spindrift. If you want to sponsor, I'll take it because
Please.
it'll save me about a couple hundo a month on Spindrift budget. But I just man, we're kind of in this series of recording episodes. I don't know where this will drop, and after we talk about what we're going to talk about, you may move this. But we've kind of been in this series of episodes talking about like what it takes to get a gig, what it's like as a playback engineer, those sorts of things.
Hmm.
Um, uh, One thing that just and we did a couple episodes not too long ago, and honestly, I kind of walked away from those. Like it's a little. I promise I'm going to get there, everybody. Just bear with us. But um, I can tend to be a like I just speak my mind. Some people don't like the jokes I make. Like someone, often will get comments on YouTube like you shouldn't, blah blah blah, whatever it is. I get that. That's just who I am. It's kind of a good filter of like we're going to work well together or not, and I'm fine with that. But one thing I want to do is I want when I die there'll probably be at least three people that say, "Good, I'm glad he's gone," and I know them by first name and I know who they are. But
Just
I'm
three? That's pretty
just
good.
three.
Yeah.
That's well, it depends what
Honestly,
day it is.
yeah, you're doing pretty good if it's just
Yeah,
three.
there's one guy that comments on my Sweetwater videos that keeps trying to get Sweetwater to fire me, but he obviously isn't smart enough to realize I don't work for Sweetwater. So,
Yeah.
I one thing I hope that people say when I die is that he encouraged me to be better. He allowed me to gain skills that allowed me to get a better paying gig. He encouraged me to learn something and accomplish something that I didn't think I could accomplish. And one of the things I was just thinking about rolling into the office today, and part of this is just like, Reese, you and I have been talking behind the scenes. There's some big changes like platform wise and even
Hmm.
potentially business model I've been considering. And dude, last night I kind of made a decision like this thing is happening, and the amount of decisions and change that is happening over the next 2 weeks is immense. And it just made me think about a couple things. And if you're fine with it, I would love to take an episode just to preach for
Yeah.
keep me on rails. Like let's go 15, maybe 20 on this. I'm not going to go long, but here's the thing, man. I think people think change and achieving their dreams takes way longer than they think it takes, right? And
Hmm.
we view things as this sequential path. Like I've got to start here, then I've got to do this, and I'm going to do this, and it's going to take me 5 to 10 years. But what I have discovered personally in my life, and a lot of it, truthfully, my eyes were open a couple years ago because of this book, and we talk about this almost every episode. 10x is easier than 2x. We'll throw it in the link in the description, by Dr. Ben Hardy. um, is immense amounts of change can happen in your life very quickly. I think if one, you believe it's possible, and two, you really clearly define what you're after, and you allow that goal to be a thing that helps you filter. Because one of the things, for example, is we're like making this platform decision or business decision is there's infinite number of paths that I could take and that I could go down, right?
Yeah.
And so what do I do? Do I offer this? Do I do that? Like, you know, I have people, you should start building rigs. I'm not going to start building rigs. You should do that. Well, I'm not going to start doing that, but I could do this, I could do that and do that. Well, which one of those do I take? Well, that all depends on what goal I have, because my goal is my filter, right?
Hmm.
And probably a lot of this, again, is coming from, I don't know if this will be out by the time we release this, but I'm reading this pre-release copy of a book called The Science of Scaling by Dr. Ben Hardy, Blake Erickson. We'll link that up in Amazon, hashtag affiliate link. But
Hmm.
fantastic book. But part of the premise there is like, you pick this impossible goal, you pick an impossible deadline in which that could happen or should happen, and that forces you to think out of the box, and it forces you to say, if I had to achieve this thing that's impossible in an amount of time that's impossible, there's like one path and one way I could go that would make that happen, right?
Yeah.
And so that's just got me thinking. Like last night, you know, I kind of made trickle down decisions about a couple of different things, and it just led me down this path of even today, just thinking back to how I got started in all of this. And so here's kind of where I want to encourage everybody. I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible because I don't want this to be a long episode, but um there are so many of us that are filling, that's my North Carolina coming out, filling our lives, filling our heads, filling our minds with negative thinking. And there's so many of us that are listening to voices, whether it's family, whether it's social media, whether it's books we're reading, the news we're watching. I mean, watching the news in any form or fashion
Yeah.
is the worst decision ever. The golden, the virtue of being informed is one of the dumbest things that, and most stress inducing things in your life. So, you know, get rid of that. But, there's so much negativity that we fill our minds with. And what it leads to is it tells us, it gives us this long list of reasons why we can't do the things that we want to do. And I really, truly believe, I'm going to venture a little bit into my faith here. So this is not me trying to proselytize or evangelize here, but I really believe God has designed every single one of us and put dreams in our hearts. And I believe those dreams are meant to be fulfilled. And I believe he has given us a path to fulfill those. I believe he's given us a purpose. And I really, truly believe that um, uh, we are called to stay seeking that purpose until the day we die. I don't know when that day is going to be for me. I don't know when it's going to be for you, Reese, but I really truly believe that God has given us dreams. He has given us the means to do that. And he has given us the wisdom to choose the path that gets us to those dreams. But there are so many of us that fill our minds either because of the way we're raised or our family or jealousy or the people around us, that there are people that are trying to pull you down and tell you, you can't do this thing because you have a family, because you're a stay-at-home mom, because you're whatever, like this list of stuff. You can't do that because people like us don't do things like this. And that is just absolute negative garbage. And it has been made so clear to me over the past 2 years of my life that if there's a dream that you want and there's something you desire to fulfill, if you believe you can do it and you point your efforts and focus towards that, it is possible. And so what I want to try to encourage everyone is like literally, let me take you back to me in college, in my dorm room in Lynchburg, Virginia. And I remember I had an index card and I wrote on that index card. And again, I'm going to venture into my faith here a little bit. These were specific things I was praying for.
Hmm.
And I was praying for Pro Tools, a copy of Ableton, whatever. Thankfully, God didn't answer the Pro Tools dream because my life would have went a completely different direction. But I
Totally
had on
different
this
path. Yeah.
completely different path, a path none of us should walk down. That is the dark side. There anyway. Pissing off the Pro Tools
I
people. Here
know.
we
Yeah, I
go.
was gonna say, there's your
Uh,
comments right there.
it's too easy. Don't get me started on main stage. But like I wrote down on this index card all these things. I had this dream of becoming an Ableton Live certified trainer. That was in 2004 is when all that stuff happened. And what's absolutely nuts and insane is I can look back since 2004, the amount of those dreams that have been achieved and fulfilled. And part of that is, I think the majority of that is providence. I think the majority of that is God saying, delight yourself in the Lord and he'll, give you the desires of your heart. And, I'm mixing a couple verses there, but like, I think part of that is providence. I think part of that too is me just being really clear on my direction and where I wanted to go and achieving that. And I had this, we had this moment in our lives as a family a couple years ago where we heard someone say, "Oh, we could never afford a house like that."
Right.
And this has nothing to do with money. So
Hmm.
like let's separate money. But that was a statement that boxed us in and put us in a category because people like us can't do things like that. And I instantly, it was like my eyes were open. Like I told my wife last night, I said, I swear we live in the matrix, because at that moment I had two options: to take the pill that enlightened you and you saw the truth, or the pill that leaves you just kind of living in the world. But I could see it clearly as day, man. Like there is just so many people that their goal is to keep you afraid, to keep you locked down, to tell you that you can't do what you want to do because of your sex, your race, whatever it is, your age, where you came from, your skill level, your how much money you have, all those things. And I'm telling you, dude, rid that, get that crap out of your life. Like get it out of your life. Number two, get insanely clear about goals that you have. And now, if I look at that card and if I look at my life in 2004, the goal and the vision I have is vastly different from then, right? I'm not doing what I was doing then. Yeah, part of it, yeah, was become Ableton Live certified trainer, but I had no desire to teach. Like, I didn't think I would be teaching. I didn't think at the end of last year that I would be on the road and working full time with a 7-time Grammy Award winning artist. That wasn't on my bingo card for last year. But what I can say is I got really clear on what I want and the direction I wanted to go. I got rid of those negative voices around me. No one's ever going to dream bigger dreams for you than you. Like maybe you find some people in your life that do, and man, what a blessing those people are in your life, and hold dear to them
Yeah, that's
and
very
take some of
rare,
what
I
they
would
got,
say.
right? Very,
Yeah.
very rare. I don't think it exists, but if it does, it's very, very rare.
Yeah.
Well, I say that I could probably think of a couple people in life in high school that were like that. But here's I've got like one, two more things, and then we're done. Number one, rid your life of negativity. Number two, have a very clear dream, vision, destination of where you want to go. Number three, believe that you can do it. Number four, fill your life with positive things that expand your vision, people, books, podcast, um, things that open your mind to realize there's more out there, there's more possible. I was telling someone last week, I always love having conversations with people in different fields and getting a sense of the scale and in which the field they operate in. And sometimes that's a money thing. Like, you know, you get to a point where like I'm super open having money conversations with people, and it drives some people crazy because they're like, that's like personal business. And I'm like, money's just literally a number. We're all gonna die. And it doesn't matter how much money you got or how much money you don't got, you're gonna die, right? But to me, it's fascinating getting into different fields and different conversations. And just this thought hits me sometimes, where someone today made $1 million or is going to make $1 million today. Not like they've made $1 million cumulatively, if that's a word, in
Yeah,
their
just
life.
in 24 hours.
In 24 hours, they made $1 million. And again, you're like, well, you said this isn't going to be about money. But what I mean is just open your mind to the fact that that is possible. Now, I don't think I can make $1 million in 24 hours coaching people on how to use Ableton. And you could say, well, that's a fulfilling prophecy, and I'm going to limit myself in that. And yes, one, that's true, and it's breaking rule number 3. But I then open my eyes and go, okay, well, if that's my goal and my destination, then I need to get on a different path, right? But just fill yourself with positivity. Like look up The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. Let's throw that in the show notes for people. It's on YouTube for free. It's a real old-timey show. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Purchase that book and read it. You can get it, I think, for free. As a Man Thinketh, maybe James Allen. I think that's the author of that. 10x is easier than 2x. And even as I say that, some of you are going, but Will, that's all that self-help mumbo jumbo stuff. Well, then read it and disprove it. Again, like
Hmm.
I get so tired of everyone trying to pull everyone down because people are trying to better themselves. And I don't care in what way you're trying to better yourself. And I don't care and what thing that you're chasing that you think is unscientific or whatever. Don't do anything dangerous or hurtful to other people, but ensure that like encourage people to better themselves. Like, why are we all so freaking negative and so like we're just pissed about the lack of achievement in our lives that we try to pull other people down. Like, let's freaking cheer other people on. Like, I think one thing that's unique about my wife and I is we cheer other people on, even people that I don't like. Like, there's like 5 people in my life that honestly, a couple years ago, I really hoped that they did not succeed, and I hoped that their business went under. And that's terrible, and I'm ashamed to say that. But what I can say is, man, in those 2 years, God has worked in my heart and my life to where I have no ill will towards them whatsoever. I have been shown grace, and I'm showing grace to them, and I want to celebrate their successes, and I want to celebrate when they succeed. And my wife does that better than anyone. Like, when other people win, she is so happy for them, and it's genuine happiness. It's not this fake thing.
Yeah.
It is genuine happiness. So fill your life with positivity, whether that's people, that's books, there's podcasts. I gave you like 1,000 different things. Get off your friggin' phone, get off social media. We talked about ridding the negative, but fill your life with the positive, whether that's people, podcasts, books, whatever it is. And then the final thing, let's recap here. Let's see if I can remember all these. You may have to help me, Reese. Number one is oh gosh, we're already back at number one. I forgot number one. Number one is well, somewhere in here. I forgot the order of these. Let me just rattle them off. And if you happen to write them down or remember any, jump in
I
and
was gonna
remind me if
say
I
I
get it.
should have written them down.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
we'll throw them in the show notes.
Yeah,
But
we'll get them in there for sure.
okay, pick a definitive goal, place you want to go to, right? Rid yourself of negativity, right? Fill your life with positivity, right? That's 3, and I know there was 4. There was another one in there somewhere. We'll have a good list below. But the final thing I'm thinking of is just take the first step. Take a step, because again, what I can tell you is you can make way further progress, and you can make way more change than you think is possible just simply by taking the first step. And there's someone I'm thinking of. I don't want to share too much info because you could probably figure out who this is if you dig around. But it's someone in the music related field that I remember. I actually thought, I haven't thought about this person. I don't know what they're up to, but I haven't thought about them in a very long time. But I remember about 5 years ago, this person talking about this product they were going to release. And
Uh-huh.
they had this dream for this product. And they were working on it. They're working on it. 2 years later, they released even like a preview of it. And everyone, man, it's so perfect. It's amazing. It's incredible. When are you going to release this? Well, soon. Just a few more details we've got to nail down. A few more details. Another year goes by, no release. Another year goes by, another year goes by. And my heart broke for this guy because I do think, I actually want to look it up because as far as I know, I still don't think he has released this thing. And I don't even fully remember his last name, so it'd be hard for me to look this up. But uh, what I can tell you though is this guy has created the perfect product, and he created this perfect product years and years ago, but it has yet to see the world. It's yet to be released, and everyone's forgotten about it. Like, I
Mm,
can't even fully remember the guy's full name, but I just remember this was going to be the perfect product. Well, it never got released. So who cares how great your idea is if you're not willing to take the first step, and you're not willing to potentially fail, learn from your mistake, not failure, and move on to the next thing. So that's all I got today, man. Like, believe that you can do it. Pick a destination and somewhere you want to go. Just pick one. Rid your life of negative people. Fill your life full of positive things and positive people. Negative thoughts. Rid your life of negative thoughts, negative people. Fill your life with positive thoughts, positive people. And then number 5, just take your first step, man. And I can promise you, you can do this now in a week. You'll be amazed at the progress you make. Again, I mentioned Earl Nightingale's The Strangest Secret. Listen to that on YouTube. And this was recorded in 1920s, I think. I mean, it doesn't necessarily matter, but this is like a really, really old recording that happened a very long time ago. And it still rings true, right? Like, this still is, I'm trying to find when that was recorded, but I can't find it off the top of my head. But it still rings true that you can make immense amounts of change in a short amount of time if you get really clear and focused on your destination. So um Man, sorry to sabotage that, Reese. And I hope
No.
that I would love to hear from you guys. Leave a comment. I again ridding my life of negativity. I don't read YouTube comments anymore. Like maybe once a quarter I'll get on and try to reply to some, or the team will send me, something to reply. I try to stay off social media as much as possible, but send us a DM like if you have any thoughts on that. I'm just telling you, man, you can say this is like, I love the people that push back. Well, that's all mumbo jumbo, and that's all rubbing crystals, and that's all manifesting, and that's all blah 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 blah. And I'm like, well, dude, like I don't take health advice from a fat person, and I don't take financial advice from poor people and broke people, right? Like,
Yeah.
so okay, maybe it is, but I'm just telling you, it has been true in my life because I've seen it, I'm living it, and there's still more to go, man, and there's still more to come. So, just freaking do it, dude. Like, just do it. Like, let's be a group of people. And here's the other thing. I'll fill this out. All right, I'll regret doing this, but
Here we go.
if you feel like you're in a place where you have no one speaking positive, reinforcing thoughts in your life, you have no mentors that are speaking positively into your life, shoot me an email, man. Will at fromstudiotostage.com. Will at fromstudiotostage.com. Dude, I want to speak life into you. Like, I want to encourage you to chase your dreams. I'm really bad at email. I'm even worse at text. I'm late for everything. But the thing I care more about than this Ableton stuff, the thing I care more about than teaching, the thing I care more about than being the Ableton guy is seeing people reach their full potential, man. And if you don't have anyone in your life that can be that for you, I'd love to like virtually try to help be that person for you, or share some resources.
Yeah.
And I'm the king of sharing links and podcasts and books and stuff, but I only share them because they've impacted me, and I'll know they'll impact you. So that's all I got today, man.
It's good
That's all I
stuff,
got.
man. I mean, I had a lot of thoughts while you were talking, and yeah, I don't want to drag on the episode too much, but yeah, I'm sure you and I will talk offline about a lot of these things. One thing that popped into my head, though, and I don't know if this is a quote that you got from somebody else, but we say it a lot, or you say it a lot, and done is better than perfect. I think that one might actually come up even more often.
Yeah,
Um,
I've kind of said that's a Will Doggetism, but maybe it's not. I've been saying that for a long time.
but I think that's true. I mean, it definitely goes along the lines of what you were saying in terms of just taking a first step. That was
Yeah,
immediately what popped in my mind.
yeah,
Is just basically like and we even talked about this whenever we were kicking up the podcast. I was like, well, what about this? What about this? What about this? And you're like, hey, man, uh, done is better than perfect. Like, because we'll always be chasing perfect if um, and never actually get anything accomplished. I definitely have that streak in me where it's like perfectionism starts to take over because I'm worried about I have my own standards, but you get worried about what other people think, and that's really what holds you back a lot of times when taking those initial steps, I feel
yeah.
like, or at least I've noticed in my own life.
Yeah. Dude, I can say, so the way I used to open this podcast every time I would talk to people and interview people is, what would you say is your unfair advantage? And
Hmm.
I don't know where that question came from, but it's kind of fascinating to me because one, most people um don't like talking about themselves positively. Like,
Right.
we struggle to understand how to receive feedback or to receive praise,
Hmm.
and we're afraid that, like, if I acknowledge, yes, I'm really good at this thing or whatever, that's like not being humble, which is not the case. But it was always fascinating asking people that question. And one day I thought, well, Will, if you asked yourself that question, what would you say? And I think my unfair advantage is, pardon my French, give zero F's what people think about me. And that can be both a good and bad. It's a very bad thing when you run a business and you can maybe sometimes mouth off, or you make fun of worship leaders or bass players or Windows
Sure.
users or people that live in their mom's basement or 12-year-olds or whatever.
Yeah. Pro
Um,
Tools. The list
Pro
goes
Tools
on.
guys, main stage. I mean, let's just keep going. Let's
Yeah.
offend everybody equally. Um, Playback bros,
By
whoever you,
by the way,
but
that's Will saying that about Pro Tools, not Reese.
yes,
Um,
that's right. Yeah.
I
You
have
can
used Pro
send,
Tools aplenty, but that's
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, you can send your negative feedback to Reese at fromstudiotostage.com. Um, but but what I can truly say is, man, I see people that are held back and paralyzed in their life right now because they're so terrified of what their parents are going to think. They're
Right.
so
Yeah.
terrified of what their bandmates are going to think, what their coworkers are going to think, what their kids are going to think, whatever. And it's like, I don't have that. And I don't know if that's I don't know what has caused that. And I think it's a more recent thing. I think part of that is building a successful business and achieving some success gives me like makes me feel a bit more like I don't care what
Sure.
people think.
Yeah.
But maybe it's the resiliency of like overcoming, you know, parents that got divorced, you know, and growing up in that environment or whatever. Like, I don't know what it is, but I just don't have that thing. And I don't make decisions based on what people are going to think of me. I don't make decisions based on how things will be viewed. And again, I have to temper that because I run a business. And
Yeah.
if my goal was just to like not care what anyone thought, I would have zero money and zero customers and we wouldn't be doing this podcast. But man, maybe someone needed to hear that today, Reese, like
Sure.
just to free yourself from that. Like I always heard it, I've heard Dave Ramsey say this a lot. It's not an original from him, and I could probably figure out who it is, but he talks about people that are you know, driving cars, you know, but buying things they don't have money for to impress people they don't like, you know, and
Yeah.
like
Yeah. I've
driving
heard that one.
cars they're making payments on to jobs that they hate. Like and we just live in this cycle. And I'm telling you, it's like the Matrix, dude. Like you just one day your eyes are open and you just see the world differently and you go like, wow, I feel like I'm almost hovering above the world because I'm not driven by these decisions and my emotions aren't controlled by the news cycle and my emotions aren't controlled by social media and the latest campaign to cancel or to be pro this or to be anti this. It's like I just live my life. I love my family. Like I follow Jesus. That's my personal decision. And dude, my life has never been better. And that's all I could tell you. Um and and I could just tell you that again, please, please, please stop believing that you can't do that thing. Stop believing that you can't achieve that thing. Like whatever the gig is that you dream of, whatever, just freaking go do it, dude. Like go do it.
So episode titles, I mean, either freaking go do it, or just Will is better than everybody is basically
Uh,
what I've come up with.
well, let's definitely not do Will is better than everybody because that'll reinforce some self thoughts that some people have about me. But yeah, I mean, I that really is it, dude. It's like just take the first step.
Hmm.
Take the first step. You know, like and I don't know where that came from. Again, maybe it's the lime spindrift, and I barely even started it, but I'm just feeling it in my bones, man. Like the world would come alive and be a better place, and concerts would be a better place
Yeah.
if people would get off their freaking butts and pursue their dreams and chase their dreams, and life would be so much better if we would cheer others on at their success. And that doesn't mean like, sorry, I'm going, this is the last thing I promise, Reese, cut me
Okay.
off after
All
this.
right.
Like, don't allow me to
You're
talk, mute me
done.
if I need to, do the playoff music from the Oscars, or whatever. Um,
Da-da-da-da-da-da. That just
I,
sounded like Cable Guy. Go ahead.
yeah, it's like cheering people on doesn't mean that you tell someone you're proud of them or excited for them when you think they're making the dumbest decision in the world.
Yes. Right.
It just means like being happy for people when they achieve things that you want, because that's a sign to you, that is proof of life, that is a sign to you that that thing can also be achieved by you, by someone that looks like you, that has the type of money that you used to have, that raised in the exact circumstances. Because I could tell you, man, what you focus on is what you see,
Hmm.
and what you think about is what you create, and what you think about is what you're going to create and find more of. And it's that we've talked about this in boot camp. It's called selective attention, recency bias, like look into all that sort of stuff. But it's just this idea of, man, if I told my son this the other day, we're laying him down to go to bed, laying him down. He's 12 years old. It's not like I'm laying him down, but like we're getting ready for bed. And he just mentioned, he's like, I don't like this thing because every time I go to it, it's not fun. And I said, dude, I'm like, what is 100% going to happen if you go in with that mindset? And he said, I'm never going to have fun. And I said, if you go in saying, I will find a way to have fun. I will find good in this experience. Guess what will happen? And he's like, yeah, I get it. I get it. And sure enough, I'm telling you, after that event, he came back and he's like, oh, it wasn't that bad. And the reason is, it's not that those external circumstances change. It's not that the things around him change. It's that the thing right here, him, his very being, his thought, his filter, his lens changed and was able to see things he was missing before, because we all walk around with this lens and this filter, and we don't see life as it is. We see life as we are, right? And we just interpret these things based on, filter: Christian, non-Christian, Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative. Like, we all see the same thing and we filter things differently. And dude, life is so much better when you can kind of, like, I swear, it's like levitating above your body and being aware of your own biases and aware of like what's actually happening and challenging your own thoughts. And I know this makes me sound like I'm like the enlightened Buddha that has discovered this, but I'm just telling you the reality of like what all of us walking around with this lens, and use that to your own benefit to say, again, I'm going to create a lens and I'm going to create a filter for myself that tells me I can achieve what I want to achieve. I can do whatever I want to do. And I'm going to reinforce that with positive thinking, with positive uh, 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 information, positive people. Like, it's all good. I got to
Yeah.
drink my Spindrift, but that's all I got for today.
All right. Well, that was the playing off portion right there. If I had music queued up, I would have done that. But it is all good stuff. And I think that's honestly, I just had the thought while you were wrapping up there. I think we need to do another one of these. Whenever you get the wild hair, interrupt me at any point, because I think this is good stuff. I know some of it for me is like, hey, I needed to hear that. I
Yeah.
can tell you for sure these are things that I have dealt with, struggled with, still am thinking about and working through. But at the same time, when I do get out of the one Dr. Hardy book I'll mention, which is also part of 10x is easier than 2x, is the gap and the gain. I've really been trying to apply that, because if you are always mindful of the gap in your life where you're trying to achieve an ideal, something that's always out there, you're never ever going to feel contentment or anything. But if you look backwards and you look at the gains, like, where was I this time last year? Where was I this time a week ago? It doesn't even have to be these monumental leaps. It's just short time frames. You can actually track consistent progress. Being on this podcast is a huge leap for me, in the sense, like, if you would have told me I was doing this a year ago, I'd have been like, no way, that sounds insane. Like, not even necessarily on my radar. And I'm totally glad that it was something, one, the opportunity that came to me, and also just like living in the moment where I could go like, yes, this is absolutely something that's going to be beneficial and change my life. I can look back and go like, that is a huge, huge, huge win for me. It's just being here in this moment and having these conversations, helping people with Ableton. So yeah, man, I think we need to do it again, but we have talked, or you have talked, and I have chimed in every once in a while. I think we need to call it for the day. And hopefully this has been helpful for everybody.
Yeah.
Again, find us on Instagram. Send us those DMs from Studio to Stage IG. Also, Will, let them know we got some free resources for everybody. If this is the first episode you've ever tuned into, they're not quite like this all the time. Usually they're a bit more playback centric. We delved into the philosophical side today, but I think it was good and worthwhile. But yeah, tell them where they can find those free resources if they want to start this journey with us and find out how to be a playback engineer.
Yeah, it's really, really good. I have this passion to help create world-class playback engineers. And so the best thing I can give you is something for free that will walk you down that path. The best first step you could take is headed from studiotostage.com/template. I've got a completely free template to you that you can download that will teach you how to format your songs properly. It's like the perfect starting place. It's the perfect building block that leads you all the way towards, if you wanted to use my Playback Pro template, it's all built off that same foundation. And this is off 20 years of work and 20 years of different contexts and experiences. And my current context of working with a 7-time Grammy Award winning artist. And that's all I work with now is Grammy Award winning or nominated artist. And that's part of my filter that I've put into my life. But this template is the best resource that's going to help you do that. And it's completely free. And the beautiful part of this is if you download it and you disagree with it and it doesn't work for you, you wasted no money whatsoever. You wasted a minimal amount of time. So I highly want to encourage you to go check that out. While you're there, you'll also get access to 2 free courses of mine that are from my playback method that will teach you how to use that template. And then also teach you to kind of understand and frame the conversation of playback and how it can help and benefit you. The what, why, how is kind of what I call it. How to convince your band to use playback. All those resources are free to you from studiotostage.com/template.
All right, man. Sounds good. Thanks, everybody. It's been a great episode, and send in those questions, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.